you don't necessarily have to be the injury victim to make a claim under this dram shop provision. And that's General Obligations Law 11-101, just FYI. Cases I've had involved the surviving family members of those killed because they were overserved. One of the most involved and really just kind of the craziest set of facts in a case that I had occurred well over 20 years ago when I first came up to the Hudson Valley after working in the city for a while. It involved a young man who was run over by a train, a freight train, in fact. And it came to pass that he was quite drunk at the time he found himself on the tracks. There was some dispute between the parties as to why he was on the tracks, but we don't have to get into those facts for the purposes of this conversation. But ultimately, I had to come up with evidence to show that he was overserved when he was already drunk. And the first deposition I took in that case was actually conducted inside a prison. And it was conducted of a bouncer at the particular bar he was at, that is, the dearly departed was at, on the night that he died. Now, the bouncer was incarcerated for reasons that had nothing to do with this particular case, but nonetheless, I had to get the evidence, I had to get the testimony that he had to offer, which was indeed probably the most damning and most important information that was elicited in the entirety of pretrial discovery. And there were a number of depositions and there were a number of documents exchanged in that case. But that bouncer essentially testified that when the dearly departed show up, he was definitely drunk. He was mumbling and stumbling and slurring and all the classic telltale signs of someone who'd been drinking already. And then, yes, he was served. I forget how much, but he was served more when he was already in that condition. And when he left this particular bar is when he made his way toward the tracks, presumably going home, and then naturally all hell broke loose. My clients in that case, though, were not the estate